Thanks for joining. My name is Eric Gaffney. I'm an enthusiast for all things nautical and aerospace. I served for 22 years in the U.S. Submarine Force and have been supporting it for the last 14 years since retiring. I've been an aviation enthusiast since I was 10, so join me while I pursue my passions through first-person experiences in history, exploring aircraft, ships, and historic sites that have changed the world, and for some that are really off the beaten path. In December of 2021, I visited Poltava, Ukraine, to see a Tupolev Tu-160 White Swan, NATO codename Blackjack, at the Museum of Long Range and Strategic Aviation. The aircraft on display is the sole hull left of the 19 which Ukraine inherited at the collapse of the Soviet Union, and it is the only one you can see outside of Russia. Ukraine returned 8 of the Tu-160s to Russia for relief funds in 1999, and the remaining hulls were scrapped as a result of the Non-Luger Cooperative Threat Reduction Agreement led by the U.S. The Tu-160 is a large, intercontinental strategic bomber fitted with variable geometry, or swing wings, and is powered by 4 Kuznetsov Mk-32 afterburning turbofan engines. And although it may look like the American B-1B Lancer, it is nearly 30% larger and is capable of reaching Mach 2. The Tu-160 made its combat debut in November of 2015 as part of Russia's military intervention into the Syrian civil war. The Tu-160 and Tu-95MS, which was a subject of one of my previous videos, conducted airstrikes against provinces inside of Syria using the Kh-101 air-launched cruise missiles being fired from over the Mediterranean. The type was also involved in the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine, where they launched missiles to targets inside Ukraine from over the Black Sea. This was just a little over 12 weeks after I had visited Poltava. The Tu-160 has an internal fuel capacity of 130 tons, approximately 286,000 pounds. To extend the range, the Tu-160 is equipped with a probe and drogue in-flight refueling system for extended missions. Due to a slow transfer rate of the fuel at approximately 1,000 pounds per minute, it requires the aircraft to be on the drogue for extended periods of time. This could literally be in hours. You see in the videos the process for the IL-78 tanker to the bomber. Now I get my chance to climb up into the cockpit of the Tu-160. Just like any of the other Soviet heavy bombers, you climb up a ladder that is in the wheel well of the forward landing gear. In this case, you come up into a very narrow passageway that is, on each side of you are electronic system racks and equipment that run the aircraft itself. You pass by the navigator and weapon systems operator stations before you get to the cockpit itself. My initial impressions of the cockpit are it is a much cleaner layout and much cleaner design than the previous bombers that I had seen, the Tu-95MS as well as the Tu-22M3. But also it is an analog system only, that you'll see that there are no multifunction displays or no glass instruments, and also that there is a control stick instead of a column and yoke setup. One interesting thing that you'll notice here as I end up looking to the left is that the pilot and commands controls are biased to the left-hand side. You will see that the throttles are on the left-hand side, vice what they would be normally that we would consider on a US standard or Western standard in the center console there. So like I said, right here you'll see the throttles are on the left-hand side for the pilot and command, which is now for taking a look at the navigation and communication center. You'll notice once again analog gauges, analog instruments, as well as old school cathode ray tubes. There's no flat panel displays or anything of that nature, so that's what struck me most about these. Whenever you do a walk around of the aircraft, you'll notice that between the landing gear is a rotary launcher for the cruise missiles, and if you look up in the upper portion of these pictures, you can actually see the bomb bay doors. They're in the shut condition on here, but I have included a couple of videos here of the systems, both the bomb bay doors as well as launching of the missiles from the rotary launchers, so you can see how they work. Now let's take a look around the outside of this magnificent aircraft. The morning that I was there was the first snow of the year, and I had the place entirely to myself, so unobstructed shots, and I could go in, to, and out of anything that I wanted. We'll close the video out with some aerial footage of the Tu-160 and fighter jets over Syria. And as always, likes and subscriptions are appreciated, and thanks for watching.